violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Out of breaking news this morning, a shooting at a home in a subdivision in the Humble area.
Wow. Both of them can get it, but the sister on the left is fire. The lips full, makeup on fleek, her hair, the tonality, beautiful.
Police found a teenage girl shot dead overnight. This all happened just north off of FM 1960 near Bush Airport. Ugochi Iloka was the first reporter live on the scene. She is back now with a lot of new information. Ugochi, what's the latest?
Kimberly and Steph, such a tough situation here. Investigators say that the man who allegedly shot and killed the 16-year-old said something very chilling. They tell us that after he allegedly shot and killed her, he walked outside and he said, "Do what you have to." Obviously, such a bold statement here.
Wow. Shot and killed a 16-year-old. And this is the craziness, bruh. This is the craziness right here. You women will bring any type of dude around your kids. They're bringing any type of dude around. They're chilling. It's despicable, man. The single mother stuff does not work.
I'm going to move this way. That's new information just coming in. You can see investigators still here trying to figure out what happened, questioning folks here. Now, the Harris County Precinct 4 constables got a 911 call from someone saying her sister was being held against her will by their mom's boyfriend at gunpoint. Deputies pulled up to the house here on Canton Trace just after 1 a.m. and say they heard one gunshot from inside the house, then screaming. Investigators tell us another gunshot was heard after that, and then a 60-year-old man came out with his hands up. They went inside the home, and deputies say they found a teen girl dead with multiple gunshot wounds.
We do know that the mother was out of town, and she has since returned. She immediately came back. We do have information that she had been on the phone with the.
So the mother was out of town and left her daughter with her boyfriend. What the
16-year-old prior to her murder.
Yeah, just can you imagine, right? And family is actually out here still. They're camped out. There are lawn chairs here with several family members, including the mother, who I spoke to briefly. Very emotional, in tears, too emotional to talk to me. As you can imagine, our hearts go out to her. Authorities do say they do have that boyfriend of hers in custody right now, but he is not cooperating. They're working to get a search warrant for the house.
And look at this neighborhood. Very nice neighborhood. Very nice neighborhood. Four-sided brick homes. Has nothing to do with poverty. This is the community. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Dave, the big question is why? We're working to find that out. Back to you.
First tonight at 9, a 60-year-old man in Humble is facing a murder charge.
Shorty on the right is straight too.
Accused of shooting and killing his girlfriend's 16-year-old daughter.
We spoke with the father and stepmom tonight as they are now forced to say goodbye. Our Tiffany Justice joining us live with this story. Tiffany.
Damn, Tiffany cold too. Shit.
Right, the family still trying to wrap their heads around the fact that she was killed and how she was so brutally taken away.
This is a 16-year-old girl who was murdered by her mother's boyfriend. Beautiful young girl. I would not be surprised if the boyfriend was trying to do some weirdo stuff some Ketanji Brown Jackson approved activities. And maybe she denied his advances and it cost her life, man. So this is horrendous.
Odysse was a very wonderful, caring person. She was very friendly, nice, and she had her friends. Everybody loved her.
A teen's life violently taken away by someone family says she trusted. This once quiet, humble neighborhood still in shock by a shooting that took the life of 16-year-old Lauren Juma, a student at Nimitz High School.
He does not need to be let go or set free because that.
So, I guess this is the mother and this is the boyfriend. If this is the boyfriend, he looks burrito-esque. Okay, maybe a sand gremlin. Who knows?
A monster like that would kill an innocent little girl that he was in her life, that she trusted for years.
This man is now in custody facing a murder charge. The victim's mother's.
Okay, so here's the guy. I guess that was the father and the mother, I believe. I don't know. But here's the boyfriend. Neither a burrito or sand gremlin. This is a super gremlin on demon time.
Boyfriend. A suspect, 6-year-old Van Brisbon, came out of the house according to police, telling them to do what they had to do. Police say the teen was on the phone with her mother just before the shooting. We're told Lauren's older sister was the one who called 911 this morning, telling them that Lauren was being held at gunpoint by her mother's boyfriend. The mother out of town for work, arriving back home to her daughter dead.
Death is too good for him. When he walked outside.
Okay, so it looks like this glider was dating, I guess this is the baby father. Then she chose to date a super gremlin. And, yeah, it didn't end well.
And said, do what you gotta do. He was looking for death. It is too good for him. He needs to rot in prison.
Police say as deputies were arriving to the home, they heard the gunshots as they were approaching the front door. Neighbors speaking with Fox 26 saying they're rattled by the death, saying it's going to forever change the neighborhood.
This was a good neighborhood, quiet. We don't have crime. So now when you look us up,
Oh, wow. So this sister, she's not in poverty. She's not disenfranchised. She even said it herself. It's a good neighborhood. Okay. People would consider this a bourgeois neighborhood. So what is this super gremlin's excuse? Please enlighten me.
the only crime you have is a murder, and it's a child.
She was like, Dad, I'm going to give me a job, and that's what she did, and I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to get...
Okay, so that's her father on the left. He looks like he is a burrito brother. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to the family. Why he didn't have custody, who knows? Fathers, you need to start getting custody of your children. These women don't know how to raise children. Let me say it again. Fathers, you need to get custody of your children. These women do not know how to raise children, and they will bring anybody and a mama around your kids. And this is what happens.
That's what she recently just did.
Now, family says after graduating, she was planning to join the Air Force. Police say they're still trying to determine a motive and that Brisbane is not being cooperative. Reporting live, Tiffany Justice, Fox 26 News.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me. I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the Super Gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo.
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
So a developing story from North Harris County involving a 16-year-old Nimitz High School cheerleader who was shot and killed inside a home. Her mother's boyfriend is now accused of pulling the trigger. Joining us now live outside where this tragedy took place is KPRC2's Rochelle Turner. And Rochelle, you spoke with the teen's mother today.
Keith, over the phone, Lauren's mother was too distraught and upset to talk about what happened, but she told me that her daughter was loved by many and she's already missed. Just outside Lauren's home, you can see people, friends and neighbors dropping off flowers, balloons and cards. Many tell me that her death is tragic.
Right next door, that happened a few feet away from me. It's crazy.
What about this brother? He's not living in poverty. So what is the excuse for this grown-ass man to kill this young girl? What's his excuse? Is it still systematic racism? Is it still the KKK police? Please, we need answers.
Mondale Madison lives next door to this home on Canton Trace in Humble, where loved ones have placed balloons, posters, and flowers of 16-year-old Lauren Juma. It's a much different view from early this morning. The home turned into a crime scene after deputies found Lauren inside. She had been shot multiple times. Mondale was friends with Lauren and shocked when he heard the news.
Yeah, I met her in the 7th grade. When she first moved here, we was all cool. We used to play basketball, you know what I mean? Outside, used to just chill. But she was cool. She nice, you know, very loving, you know.
Investigators say Juma's sister called police to alert them and let them know that Lauren was being held captive at gunpoint by her mother's boyfriend, identified as 60-year-old Dan Brisbon.
I didn't know him. I seen him. He always used to have the garage open. He used to just stare out, you know.
I mean, brothers and sisters are flourishing in Houston. Everybody that they done interviewed was a brother or a sister in a beautiful neighborhood. 4-sided brick homes. Nothing ever happens in this neighborhood until now.
I ain't think nothing about him.
Lauren was a junior at Nimitz High School and a cheerleader. She had aspirations to be a police officer or go into the military. Those who knew Lauren already miss her and want answers about her tragic death.
It's just devastating. It's unreal.
In a statement, Aldine ISD said our community mourns her passing. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family, loved ones, and friends during this difficult time. As you can see, this growing makeshift memorial for Lauren continues to grow. Many neighbors, friends, and family coming out here to show just how much they love and already miss her. As for Brisbon, he's been charged with murder, and the family tells me they have set up a GoFundMe page to help with funeral expenses. You can find more information on this story at clicktohouston.com. Reporting live in Northeast Harris County, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC 2 News.
Rochelle, thank you. He could rot in jail. He had no reason for taking my baby's life.
Oh, okay. So at first I thought the mother was a glider, but the mother is a sister. It's a little confusing. It's hard to follow. So the picture of the father was with another woman. And this is the mother right here in the beginning.
16 years.
Let me go back.
60-year-old Van Brisbon.
He could rotten in jail.
So this is the sister who was dating this super gremlin on demon time. Single mother, doing it all by her lonesome. Trusted a man who she probably barely knew. And now he's holding up her daughter for motive we don't know and ends up killing her right before the police arrived.
Get rotten in jail. He had no reason for taking my baby's life. 16 years old.
60-year-old Van Brisbon walked out of the home in the Humble area he shared with his girlfriend and her 16-year-old daughter with his hands up this morning, asking what was going on. That, according to court records, after they say he had just shot and killed.
Wow. This young girl is beautiful, man. It's crazy.
Lauren Juma. Minutes earlier, she had called her mother, Lori Young, asking for help.
She said, "Mom, help me." And by that time, he hung her phone up. And that's the last time I heard her voice.
Young in turn called 911 and then her older daughter, who was closer but already on her way because Lauren had called her too.
She just said that he was being really weird. She wanted me to come pick her up.
So that's what you did?
That's what I did.
By the time she got to the home on Canton Trace, deputies from the Harris County Precinct 4 Constable's Office were outside. They heard screaming, court records say, and then gunshots.
And I just don't understand why.
Young says there were no previous issues in their 5 years together. The older daughter said Brisbon had been weird before.
5 years together. And he was probably, I'm going to go on a limb and say he was probably sexually attracted to this young 16-year-old girl. This is why you women need to stop bringing these random men around your kids. And he probably made a sexual advance at her, at which she denied, and he felt some type of way. And then he didn't want to ruin his current WAP situation. So he ended up, don't tell your mama, da-da-da-da-da. And obviously, she called mama, she called Ma Duke, she called her sister. And that's when he killed her.
Further details from court records say the teen told her mom in her call that Brisbon was standing inside her room in the dark and wanted her to tell him to get out. Lauren then screamed that he had a gun. She was a bright light for her family, a cheerleader at Nimitz High School with dreams.
She had a bright future ahead of her, and she was going to go to the United States Air Force once she graduated.
Tonight, that's all gone.
I hope he gets death. He deserves it. There is no way she shouldn't have been taken like that. There's no absolute way.
Jessica Willie, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Bond has been set for the 6-year-old man charged in the murder of his girlfriend's teen daughter.
Wow. So the super gremlin gets a bond from the racist criminal justice system in the deep South Houston area.
Earlier this morning, Van Henry Brisbon did not appear in probable cause court, but he was given a bond set at $1 million. Prosecutors say 16-year-old Lauren Juma called her older sister and her mother early yesterday morning trying to get help. Court records say Lauren told her mom that Brisbon was standing in her room in the dark. Then Lauren screamed he had a gun. Lauren's sister already on her way over to the house on Canton Trace in the Humble area. But by the time she got there, deputies were also outside. They all heard 2 gunshots, and Lauren was found dead.
He could rotten in jail. He had no reason for taking my baby's life. 16 years old.
Her mother says Lauren was a cheerleader at Aldine's Nimitz High School and that she wanted to join the Air Force when she graduated. No word right now on why he allegedly did this. They say Brisbon was not cooperating.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.